Physical activity. So we've talked about this. I'm bringing the numbers again. Some of you said you forgot. So really, the numbers here are just guides. They're just here to be as a reference point. Your number can be as big as you want it to be or as small as you want it to be. Again, I'm talking in terms of goals, but we are still going to align this with your values at the end of the day. Now, how some of you said you've reached your steps and some of you said you haven't. What was your goals? How close were you to your goals? So, one thing is very important is to be realistic in setting goals. If you're at, let's say, 2,500, I don't want you to give yourself 8,000 or 9,000 as a goal. Give yourself something more achievable because at the end of the day, I still want you to be motivated and feel success. When you see these numbers, that's why I did give you the long goal just so that you have it in mind that, eventually someday getting to 10,000 would be nice, but that doesn't mean that you have to get it done today. It's just that taking a few steps to move from one category to the next, right? So for some of you, it may be very easy to do, and then for some of us, it may be really difficult. And I still want you to be conscious of what's possible for you. So one of the easiest way to do this is just add 500 extra steps to whatever it is that you're doing, and in that way, you get to be a little creative in figuring out what can I do to get to what is 500 steps for me, right? Before I move on to a few more details on how to get to more steps, I just want also to remind you that you have to reward yourself. Let's say you've given yourself a goal. So most of you have reached your target, right? So you set yourself to a target, you've reached it. That's amazing. You need to celebrate this. Our body really loves positive reinforcement. For years and years, we've given ourselves negative reinforcement, right? We've always put ourselves down. Now we want to change that. When it comes to unhealthy habits and unhealthy foods, we have instant reward. If you eat a piece of cake or a piece of chocolate, you instantly have a reward in your head. Like you feel good, it tastes good, you have that reward. And that's why our body, our unconscious, the hippie in our brain, enjoys these. And it really, puts a good memory to it and makes you feel good. Now, with activity or things that are hard for you, if you can reward yourself, we want even your subconscious hippie to be happy with doing, achieving small steps and small goals. So for example, I'll just give an example. It's always important to not make your reward a food reward. So make it anything but food. So I have a list of some rewards that you can pick from. And these should be activities or things you don't normally do. So like if you see here, some of these you can do because of COVID, unfortunately. But if there are some things like, for example, let's say doing a puzzle. If you always do a puzzle, then it's not really a reward. So I want you to pick a reward that's a little extra, or something that's an actual reward for you, where you'll be looking forward to getting it. Reward yourself with buying yourself a dress, or do something that's rewarding, as so that you feel good about it, and you know that you can look forward to getting that gift. Or you could have your spouse or some partner tell them that if I reach this, gift me this, give me a flower or something. So I want you to think about it that way. Okay. So I'm going to move on. And I'm just going to just put some ideas here for you, because we are not doing anything too different this week. It's just that I want you to move from wherever you are right now to the next level, whatever that level is for you. Give yourself a goal. If last time your goal was 3,000, maybe see if you can do 4,000 in the next week. So what are some ideas? What are some ways that you can increase your steps? As well. And I think one other thing I'll mention, something very simple and easy. When we talk on the phone, also, usually if you are going to talk to somebody on the phone, just get up and walk. I do that all the time. I don't even realize like I'm running around the house talking, just because you're not even thinking about it. So there are a lot of different ways. I have some tips here. of ways that you can get yourself to do a little bit more activity than what you're doing right now. It could be, taking long bathroom break, like longer bathroom loops, as we mentioned last time. You could maybe at commercial breaks, you could go for a quick walk around the house. Doing now that the weather's getting better, some of you probably are starting to seed. You know, if you're a planter, if you like gardening, so there are a lot of amazing ideas. Put some of those down on your sheet and think about how you can add a few extra steps than what you're doing right now. So I guess my recommendation, if it's even possible, but my recommendation is increasing your goal to at least 1,000 for the next week, or maybe more, even up to 3,000 if it's even possible, above what you're already doing. Now, for those who are already reaching 10,000 steps, we'll talk about the next level later. So I want all of us to get towards a bigger goal. At least let's come to, as an average, as a group, let's try to come to 8,000 or so, and then I do have other plans, but let's get there first. Is that okay? Are we all good with that? So let me know what you're aiming for. Okay, so now that you have a goal in mind, again, I want you to use the same criteria we used last time to make a plan around it, right? What are you going to do? How often are you going to do this? And has it worked for you, checking up on your minutes? Have you been able to, the time, like last time I asked you to check a time, put a time in place or a reminder in place to check your steps? Has that worked? And would you want to do that again?